This is the DJI Avata 2, DJI's latest in the whoop in their FPV lineup. I've been using it for about 2 years, and let's have a look at what it can do. After hundreds of flights with both traditional FPV quads and the original Avata, I can confidently say that my opinion of the DJI Avata 2 has completely flipped on its head. In this review, I'll break down what's new, how it flies, the camera upgrades, and ultimately who will benefit from this drone and who this drone is really for. But by the end, you'll know whether or not this Avata 2 is worth it or if you should just stick to traditional FPV. Let's start with the improvements. Compared to the Avata 1, this drone is a beast. First, it's lighter, coming in at 392.6 grams, which is about 26.5 grams lighter. This might not sound like a lot, but it makes a big difference when it comes to handling and also to power to weight ratio. Storage also got a big upgrade. The Avata 2 now has 46 gigabytes of internal storage, which is a lifesaver if you ever forget your SD card. DJI has made some design changes. The SD card and USB-C ports are now in much better spots, making accessing your media and charging a lot easier than before. The battery mount has also been redesigned, fixing a huge problem from the Avata 1, where the batteries would literally eject after crashes, which is not fun when you have to go and find your Avata. The DJI Avata 2 is quieter than the DJI Avata 1, which is a massive positive. And finally, the battery life has improved by around 28%, giving you more flight time per pack. The camera is one of the main reasons I'd upgrade. We're getting dangerously close to action camera level quality here, which means you don't have to strap a GoPro on top of your drone anymore, which saves weight and makes your drone a lot more versatile. The Avata 2 has a 1/1.3 inch sensor, which has improved dynamic range as well as low light performance. It also shoots in 10-bit 420 color, which is great, but however, 422 would be amazing in the future, but this is still a huge step up from the Avata 1. Rocksteady has been improved too. Personally, I don't use it. I turn off electronic image stabilization and run the footage through Gyroflow. This is just because I get the best quality footage out of Gyroflow. However, if you want straight out of camera stability, Rocksteady does an amazing job. Right, let's talk about the flight characteristics. You can tell that DJI have been very intentional about improving over the last iteration, which is the Avata 1. My first impressions of it was that it felt a lot like my iFlight Nazgul behind me. There was a lot of power, which I noticed absolutely immediately when compared to the Avata 1. But you need to take into account that this is a 4S in a whoop, and the prop guards as well as the motors are not as powerful as you'd find in these Nazguls. So what that means is basically that you don't get juicy or poppy sort of flights, and while you can still freestyle with this, it's not as exciting as you would get with a Nazgul. So dive recovery is really good. You can have a lot more confidence now when you're diving waterfalls, spires, buildings, things like that. So it's amazing. It's also quite fast and quite powerful as well in comparison. So you can keep up with mountain bikers, wakeboarders, dirt bikers, and still have a good time and get great footage, as you may have seen in my video. Although I must say that the infamous yaw bug is still present. When I flew it trying to make a freestyle comparison against the iFlight Nazgul, I did encounter the infamous yaw bug, which almost cost me the drone, as it sort of rolled and yawed at the same time and almost fell into the ground. But luckily I have DJI Care Assist, so yeah, I wasn't too scared. So who's this drone for? This drone is for beginners and content creators, and it can even appeal to the professionals out there. Why I say this is because DJI have made it very easy to get into FPV now. You start in normal mode, you can move up to sports mode, and then finally when your confidence is high enough, you can move up to manual mode. And this is pretty much great because the drone grows with you as you become more experienced in FPV. I'd also say that it's quick and easy now to set up the drone. You pull it out of your bag, you put the goggles on, and you've got your 10-bit color as well as a great D-Log M color space, which which can be used for professional environments. So from my experience, the built-in propeller guards I've used quite a lot in professional shoots because it reduces the risk of injury as your propellers are covered, so you can get closer to subjects while mitigating the risk, and also in post, in the color grading space, it's absolutely brilliant. You've got so much control over the look of your footage now in comparison to the Avata 1. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope I shed some light on the Avata 2 in comparison to the previous generation. It's genuinely a big upgrade, so I hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, comment. Are you getting this drone? Do you already have it? What are your settings that you run so far, and how could DJI improve?